All right, guys, so we're pulling our gear out. This is my bug out bag, inch pack, whatever you prefer to call it. This is pretty much all I need, but also to augment this system, I have my weapons, my rifle, I also have my pistol, extra ammunition, and everything that goes with that in this one bag. I also have another support system that I like to have with me, and it has a variance of different gear to sustain longer out there. This can sustain life, of course, but I also like to have extra gear in a bug out situation, and this basically has some fold out bows, some survival bows in here for not only being quiet, but you can also retrieve your ammunition. That's one of the things I like to have with me. I also have some extra clothes, water, everything to augment this pack is in this duffel bag.
So, like Todd, I have my core system, which is my EDLS pack system with the Hill People Gear chest pack and the pistol belt. So that's the bare minimum of what I need to survive for an extended period of time. But since we have access to a vehicle to bug out of, I also have some supplemental gear. And this is gear that rides in my vehicle all the time. And it's basically gear to supplement, make life more comfortable, or make survival a little bit easier outside of my bare essential EDLS system. So in here I have things like extra tarps, extra batteries, extra flashlights, extra sleeping materials, poncho liner, things like that, extra layers. Inside this box right here, I actually have a stove and fuel and more extended food provisions. Most of what's in that box is related to food prep. Then obviously I have an extra 6 gallons of water because we are out in the desert country. So I've got my core pack system and then some supplemental items here that I only have because I'm operating out of the vehicle. Now, if we walk off the grid away from the vehicle, we will just have our pack systems. But in this scenario, we had enough fuel to get to the location where we're going to spend a few days. We were able to drive right to it, so we've got some extra items that normally live in our vehicles with us. So just to give you guys a little context, where we're at is about 70 miles from the nearest population center, which is the town of Primeville, which has a population of about 10,000 people. We're in a county that has a population of about 20,000 people in the whole county, and it's one of the largest counties in the state. So the reason I mention that is to give you guys some context and the ability to be able to kind of picture that we're in some really, really remote country. In the vast majority of that 70 miles we traveled, we passed probably we passed exactly 3 vehicles on the way out here. So, and most of the route was on gravel and secondary roads. So we're an incredibly remote part of the country. This butte system that we're up in is surrounded by arid, barren sagebrush flats and dry lake beds. So we're kind of in this little oasis of habitat up in here, which makes an ideal kind of a hideout or bug out location for us to spend a little time in.
Basically, I'm going to go underneath this tree here. I'm going to kind of remove some of these limbs, set up underneath for aerial cover, and I'm also tucked back away from the road so that they can't see structure. As well as, you know, when you're going through some of this backcountry, you can really pinpoint man-made objects because they're either smooth surfaces or they're brightly colored, which mine isn't, but it's also a structure out in the middle of nowhere and it's easy to pinpoint. So that's why we're coming back here off the road and also getting the aerial cover. Not to say that there's going to be a bunch of planes or anything out there, but just in case, if there was, we'll also be covered in that aspect.
Going hot. So was that impacting low? Want me to send one more?
Yeah.
All right, so I try to show you guys the good and the bad. I just realized a fatal error I made on this trip. I have all kinds of 22 ammo, all kinds of 223 ammo, and Todd and I just did a little bit of pistol practice, and I ran all 3 of my pistol magazines dry and realized that I have no spare pistol caliber ammo in my pack. So I'm gonna have to work a deal with you. I got some silver in my pack. Maybe I can barter some silver for some ammo.
But that's exactly why we do this kind of exercise, is to find out deficiencies. And I've already found a couple myself. and I'll share a little ammo with him because he's my security as well.
I appreciate that, Todd. Well, we got our camp set up, so our next task is we're going to go on a little bit more of a long-range patrol, and we have two reasons for doing this long-range patrol. One is security, and then the second thing is it's starting to get on into the evening, which is the time that the game starts moving around.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that people don't realize about the desert is, you know, there's a lot of game. I mean, we've seen enough just coming here to feed us for a week.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
everything from snakes to geese, you know, and even more activity towards, you know, the nighttime or in early morning. So
yeah.
It's a perfect time to go out.
So we've been following this wash down, hunting it, and seeing spots of green in here. And in here it's gotten really green. And then sure enough, this is what you find out here. Here's a nice little water hole. So we went for our scouting mission. We did achieve one of our major objectives, which was finding water. And
on the way down, we had a perfect shot at a doe, and of course, you know, off season, we're not in a survival actual situation or a bug out situation, so we would never take that shot. Of course, we had 22s, which could work, but most of the time, either one of us would have a 22 for small game, and one of us would have a 223 with us on this kind of a expedition. So we've kind of been keeping track of the game we came across to give us an idea of how, in a real scenario, how much food is available to us out here. So today would have been a pretty successful day. We're going to walk back. We probably have, what, maybe about 45 minutes, an hour or so of daylight at the most
left.
Yep.
So we didn't see a single zombie. So we feel like this is we're pretty secure in this location out here. We also didn't see any other fresh tracks or anything like that, so feel pretty confident.
Being isolated in this area, I don't think the epidemic could reach us down inside here, so.
That's what I'm hoping. Unless we get too stiff of a breeze and it carries the Ebola down here.
Yeah, but I think we'll be all right.
I don't think that stuff's airborne, is it?
Not yet.
All right.